Welcome back and thank you for being here today. In this video, we're exploring the astrological energies surrounding Scorpio on April 13th, 2025, a day that may not look dramatic on the surface, but carries quiet, powerful undercurrents you'll want to pay attention to. If you've been sensing something shifting beneath the surface, whether in your closest relationships, in the way you express yourself, or in how you're showing up professionally, you're not imagining it. Today's cosmic landscape invites you to get honest with yourself, to listen more closely to what's been stirring inside, and to start moving from a place of deeper clarity. This isn't about sudden leaps or loud declarations. It's about reclaiming your inner authority. With the moon returning to your sign and Mercury aligning with Mars, the universe is nudging you to speak up, stand firm, and reconnect with what truly matters. Especially in spaces where your truth has been quietly waiting for permission. Let's move through today's influences one by one and uncover how they're shaping your next step forward. When the moon moves into Scorpio, something within you awakens. It's not loud, it's not sudden, but it's deep. This is the kind of energy that doesn't just pass by unnoticed. It sinks in, stirs old memories, stokes quiet desires, and brings hidden emotions closer to the surface. You may feel more sensitive today, but also more clear, more emotionally raw, but also more willing to face the truth of what's really been going on inside you. There's a pull now to go inward, not to escape the world, but to reconnect with what's real beneath all the noise. You might find yourself needing more solitude, more quiet moments between the tasks, more time to feel before responding. And that's not weakness, it's wisdom. Scorpio moons ask us to feel fully, even if what rises isn't easy or comfortable. They ask us to stop pretending we're fine when we're not, to stop pushing away what's painful and instead to sit with it, to learn from it. You might notice emotions from the past resurfacing today, especially ones tied to trust, vulnerability, or past betrayals. This is a powerful opportunity to understand yourself better, to recognize where you're still holding on to old stories that no longer define you. You don't need to solve everything right now, but you do need to honor what's rising, even if it feels messy, even if it feels like too much. This moon also sharpens your intuition. You may know things today without needing proof. You may sense shifts in others, feel truth in your body before words confirm it. Don't dismiss that. The clarity you're looking for externally might already be within you. You just have to trust it. And this inner clarity will become even more important as we move into the energy of Mercury and Mars, because soon your voice will want to speak what your heart is uncovering. And the question is, will you be ready to express it with honesty, with power, and with peace? We'll get there, but today begins with you choosing to feel what's real, choosing not to hide from yourself. In addition to the emotional and communicative themes of April 13th, financial matters also come into subtle but important focus for Scorpio. While this may not be a day of major breakthroughs or bold financial moves, it does offer clarity. Clarity about how you're managing your resources, where your energy is going, and whether your financial habits are truly aligned with your values. With the moon moving through your sign, your emotions are closely tied to your sense of control and stability. You may feel a stronger need to take stock of your spending, reassess your financial boundaries, or gain a clearer picture of what security really means for you. There could be a quiet tension between your desire for long-term grounding and the reality of your current habits. This is a powerful moment to pause and reflect. Where are you investing your time, money, and energy? And is it building the life you want? Venus, now moving direct in Pisces, supports this reflection with a gentle push toward redefining abundance. You're being reminded that financial well-being isn't just about accumulation, it's about alignment. What do you truly value? Are your financial decisions supporting your deeper joy or just temporary relief? You may find that by adjusting your spending to reflect what truly matters, you not only create more balance, but also more peace. This is also a day when financial opportunities might come through others. A suggestion, a collaboration, or even just a new idea that reframes how you think about money. Don't rush to act. Take time to feel it out. As a Scorpio, you have a built-in radar for what's authentic and what's not. Trust that. Your body and your instincts will tell you what your mind can't always calculate. Let this be a day of quiet empowerment when it comes to money. one where you begin to reclaim not just your finances, but your relationship to self-worth. Because when your money choices start coming from self-respect rather than survival, the way abundance flows into your life will change. And it will feel a lot more like freedom. With Venus now moving direct in Pisces, a soft wave of energy begins to flow back into your emotional world, one that brings gentleness, beauty, and healing to places that may have felt tangled or uncertain in recent weeks. For you, this shift opens up the part of your life where love meets imagination, where intimacy intertwines with creativity, and where joy doesn't need to be earned. It simply returns like a tide. You may notice subtle changes in how you relate to love, not just in romantic terms, but in how you allow yourself to receive care, softness, and emotional connection. If recent weeks brought confusion, disconnection, or a sense of holding back in your relationships, Venus turning direct invites a reset. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't even need to fix what's been broken. Sometimes all it takes is willingness to see each other with new eyes, to choose tenderness over protection, to trust that healing is possible. This energy also breathes life into your creative expression. Whether you're an artist in the literal sense or someone who creates meaning through the way you live, this is the time to reconnect with what lights you up. What brings you joy that doesn't require achievement? What kind of beauty do you want to build into your life? Not for others, but for your own soul. Let yourself be led by that. Let inspiration be your guide again. There's also a certain softness returning to the way you dream. Things you may have set aside or deemed impossible now seem to carry a different glow. You may find yourself believing again in possibilities that felt distant or unrealistic during the retrograde. Trust that sense of quiet hope. It's not naive, it's aligned. And this renewed emotional clarity matters deeply as we move into the influence of Mercury and Mars. Because what you're beginning to feel again, the trust, the openness, the courage to love, will soon need to be spoken. The words will come, and when they do, they'll carry more weight because they're rooted in something real. Your willingness to feel, to forgive, and to begin again. With Mercury and Mars coming together, your voice sharpens, not in a harsh way, but in a way that feels undeniably clear. There's no more space for holding back what needs to be said. This is the moment when truth seeks expression, and you may feel an internal push to speak up, to confront, to define your boundaries with greater confidence. Whether it's a long-held thought or a recent realization, the words now have urgency. You're not just thinking, you're ready to act on what you believe. This alignment can feel empowering, especially if you've spent the last few weeks navigating emotional or relational fog. Now, the fog lifts. What once felt complicated may begin to sound simple when spoken aloud, but clarity is a double-edged sword. It can heal or it can cut depending on how it's wielded. That's the power of this energy. It can bring resolution, but it can also ignite conflict if it's driven by unchecked frustration or impatience. So as you find your voice today, the deeper invitation is to use it wisely. Yes, say what needs to be said. Yes, stand firm in what you know to be true. But also pause, breathe, and listen, not just to others, but to the tone and timing of your own message. Ask yourself, is this the moment that will build connection or just release tension? Sometimes the most impactful words are the ones spoken calmly when everyone else is shouting. This energy is especially potent in areas connected to your career or public identity. You might feel called to assert yourself professionally, to clarify your role, to defend an idea, or to speak truth to power. If so, trust that instinct. Mars fuels your courage, Mercury brings the language, but your wisdom, your restraint is what will ensure you're not just loud, but heard. And perhaps what's most important here is that everything you say now, every word, every decision is shaped by the emotional clarity you've been reclaiming through the moon and Venus. You're no longer communicating just from the surface. You're speaking from a deeper place, from a version of yourself that feels more integrated, more honest, and less afraid. As this day unfolds, let your voice be a reflection of all you've remembered this week. Not just what you think, but what you felt, healed, and chosen to stand for. The world is ready to hear you. The question is, are you ready to speak, not to impress, but to align? Today's astrology is less about doing more and more about doing things differently, with presence, with honesty, and with the willingness to meet yourself where you really are. For Scorpio, April 13th isn't asking for perfection or performance. It's asking for integration, to take everything that's been moving under the surface, your emotions, your insights, your healing, and begin weaving it into how you relate, how you speak, and how you choose. Let your inner connection guide you first. When you move from a place of alignment with your intuition, decisions become clearer, you're less reactive, more responsive, and that makes all the difference. Not just in how you experience your day, but in how others experience you. Your depth is your strength, but today, it's not about hiding in it. It's about letting it support you as you navigate the outer world. When it comes to love, allow softness to re-enter. Whether you're mending something old or welcoming something new, approach it not from fear or expectation, but from presence. Love isn't meant to be perfect. It's meant to be real. And Venus's energy is giving you full permission to reconnect with someone else, or maybe with the parts of yourself you've held back from offering. And as your voice gains power through Mercury and Mars, remember, the most transformative conversations don't always come from confrontation. They come from clarity, from choosing to say what matters with calm, from knowing that how you say something often determines whether it's received. And that truth, when spoken with care, doesn't just shift relationships, it shifts futures. So use this day to realign your emotional and external worlds, not all in one moment, but one decision, one conversation, one act of truth at a time. There's no need to rush. You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be to begin again, this time more whole. Alongside all the emotional clarity and interpersonal movement of April 13th, there's also a quiet but essential invitation to turn inward and check in with your body. When the moon enters Scorpio, it doesn't just stir the emotional depths, it also brings your awareness to how your physical state mirrors your inner world. For you, this is a day when the body becomes a messenger, gently or not so gently, reflecting the parts of you that may be carrying more than they should. You might notice tension sitting in specific areas, a tightness in the chest from words unsaid, pressure in the head from thoughts spinning too fast, or exhaustion that goes deeper than a poor night's sleep. These aren't just random symptoms. They're signals. Your system may be asking for release, for space, for grounding, especially after the emotional intensity stirred by the Scorpio moon and the expressive force of Mercury-Mars. Your nervous system could benefit from stillness and intentional care. This is a good day to slow things down. Choose nourishment over stimulation. Gentle movement like stretching, walking, or even simply sitting in stillness can help recalibrate the mind-body connection. Be mindful of what you take in, not just through food, but through media, conversations, even your own thoughts. Scorpio energy tends to absorb everything deeply, and today, your system may be more sensitive than usual to energetic clutter. Boundaries are also part of your health today. Emotional boundaries, yes, but also physical ones. Don't be afraid to say no to what feels draining. Protect your rest. Your power comes from your ability to regenerate, but regeneration requires space. Solitude isn't isolation today, it's medicine. If you've been ignoring small health issues or brushing off signals from your body, this is a good moment to check in. Not with fear, but with honesty. Healing doesn't require urgency, it requires presence. Listen to your body like you would a trusted friend. It's not asking for perfection, it's asking for attention. Your emotional strength and intuitive clarity are amplified today, and so is your ability to recognize when something needs care. Let that extend inward. The more you tend to yourself now, the more capacity you'll have for the conversations, connections, and transformations waiting ahead. As we close out this journey through the skies of April 13th, take a moment to honor how far you've come, not just in what you've accomplished, but in the depth of your awareness, the strength of your inner truth, and the courage it takes to stay present with yourself. Today was never about rushing toward answers or forcing decisions. It was about noticing, feeling, choosing with more clarity, more care. Whether it was through the emotional pull of the moon in your sign, the creative and relational reset from Venus, or the bold clarity offered by Mercury and Mars, everything was guiding you back to one simple truth. You already know what matters. Now it's about living in a way that reflects that knowing. Let this day be a gentle turning point, one where you stopped apologizing for what you feel, one where you said what needed to be said, or at least admitted it to yourself, one where you took back just a little more power, not through control, but through presence. The shifts you make today may seem subtle, but over time, they become the foundation for real transformation. So keep listening, keep softening, and keep choosing what aligns. Your path doesn't require perfection, only your honesty. And that is more than enough. Thank you for sharing this space. Until next time, trust your timing, protect your peace, and let the truth you carry lead the way forward.